Hi, I'm Abe. Today I'm talking about embossing seals. Today I'm going to tell you about embossing seals. I've wanted one of these for a long time, but it's taken me a while to pull the trigger because when I've been doing my research, there's just some questions that are always left unanswered. I thought I'd do a demo to answer some of those questions so that if you've been thinking about purchasing an embossing seal, maybe this will help. This will give you the answers that they don't show online. So I'm actually going to show two embossing seals. One is a desk seal, this one, and then the other one is a hand stamper. These were ordered through Rubber Stamps Unlimited. The website is thestampmaker.com. The cost of these, the desktop embossing seal with artwork, was $38.58, and the pocket embosser with artwork was $39.50. So what's neat about these is you can upload your own artwork. If you're able to make your own artwork, high contrast, black and white logo or text, they'll make a seal for you. And just to give you an example of what the final product looks like, here it is on a sticker, and here it is on an envelope. When I ordered these, I sent two designs. One was a logo for the infestation. You can see that right here. And so one test was just more of a logo. The other, I wanted to test how much text would come through. So if you look pretty close, you can see this one's got some small text. It says "Stay Creative" and it says "Made by Aid." The pocket one comes with a little pouch to store it in, which I probably won't use, but it's kind of nice. The desktop seal here. The first thing to notice is just how it works. It basically sandwiches paper. There's two plates, a positive and a negative, and when you squeeze it down, it creates an embossing. So this is just 8.5 by 11 copy paper. You stick it in there, and it goes maybe an inch beyond there, and then squeeze, and it takes a bit of pressure. It's not hard, but and then you have an embossed logo. So one of my questions when I was ordering these was whether or not these plates were interchangeable. They're pretty easy to swap out. So you pinch it and remove it just like that on desktop, and you pinch it, pull it out. I was surprised that these were different parts because I was hoping that I could just swap them back and forth. While yes, I could sort of wedge this in there and make it work, you'll notice that these little grooves where it aligns don't perfectly match up, which is a little disappointing because I don't know, I wanted options. So what I'm probably going to do in the future if I order these is pick which of these I like better, and I'll just commit to either the desktop one or the handheld one. And then to put these back in, it's just a matter of sliding back in. Oops, you got to make sure that the top side is top and the bottom side is bottom. And it clicks in so you know it's ready. Let's try some paper. So you've already seen the 8.5 by 11 with the Made by Aid text stamp. Let's try the desktop version with the infestation one. It goes in about the same distance as that one. And here on 8.5 by 11, the text is pretty readable. That's 6-point type there, and that's pushing the limits of what I think you can get out of a stamp like this. It says "Stay Creative." That's pretty readable. Made by Aid. Starting to break up a little bit there, and then on this side it's harder to read. I think that has to do with just how much pressure is equally applied here. So Made by Aid is getting hard to read there. Stay Creative, I think it's still readable, but it's breaking apart. So if you're thinking about making a stamp with text smaller than 6-point, you're probably pushing the limits there. Another thing that I noticed is you get these little dimples in the corners. I think that happens because as the paper compresses, it needs to resolve that pressure, so it sort of pulls in the corners and you get a little dimple. Okay, let's try a couple other papers here. So this was copy paper. I've got 65-pound cardstock, 100-pound cardstock, and I've got some shipping labels, and I've got 65-pound black paper. Let's move up in thickness. So we started with copy paper, and copy paper is about the same. It's about the same equivalent as an envelope. You can see a couple examples of this stamped on envelopes. And moving up, let's try 65-pound cardstock. It takes enough pressure that I want my weight to be above it. So there's 65-pound on the Infestation logo. Now let's try it on the Made by Aid logo. And you can see on 65-pound, the Infestation logo did great. On the Made by Aid, the text just faded away. So 65-pound cardstock is too much for small text. And just to make sure I didn't get a bad stamp, let's do a second one here. And one thing you can't tell from a video is just how hard you have to push in on these. So look at it from this angle. You could see it stops at a point where you can't go any further. This desktop one doesn't have that same endpoint, right? You kind of have to get a feel for how hard you want to push, which maybe that's better because you might be able to get a little bit more pressure out of this guy. I'll give you another demonstration of this desktop one, just using it like a handheld one. Right, notice how it's like a spring, right? I could keep going. The only thing restricting me is my own strength. 65-pound paper was good for the more logo design, not so good for one with text. Let's do that same thing on 100-pound. So let's go up even another notch, and I would expect same results. This one, the text-based one, probably is not going to get a very good impression. And maybe I'll try sort of multiple pulls on this. Yeah, it's just not enough. But let's try it on the... So with the Infestation logo, that actually looks really nice. So 100-pound cardstock is within the reasonable limit of an embossing seal like this. I want to show black paper. So this is 65-pound again, so we should expect the same results in terms of embossing as we did on the white paper, but on black it gives just a different effect. There you can see the Infestation logo, and there you can see the Made by Aid, and about the same as the white. The text on the edges just didn't come through. So a couple more things. Shipping labels. These might be nice if you're applying your own custom label to a package. And because this paper is maybe a little, well, I don't know if it's less quality, but it's still struggling with the text on even this thin thermal label paper. But the Infestation logo turned out perfect. And you can see the little dimples I was talking about at the corners of the wings. If you use a circle cutter on a thermal label, you can basically make little stickers. Insert this circle sticker inside the embosser. You got to be careful to align it. Sort of sticks in there. And that makes a real nice little sticker. If I had to pick one of these, it's kind of a hard call. The handheld one is a little bit more plastic. It doesn't feel cheap. The desktop one is almost entirely made of metal, which makes me feel like it's a little bit more sturdy. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose this desktop one. There's going to be situations where I want to really exceed the limit of pressure, and this one lets me push on it as much as my strength allows. Ergonomically, maybe the desktop one's a little better. It's a little bit more round on the handle. This edge is a little bit sharp. So if you're doing this, you're gonna I don't know, you could almost get a blister if you were doing hundreds of these. So thank you for watching this demonstration. I hope this was helpful for you. If you end up ordering one of these embossers, send me a picture of what you're doing. I'd like to see it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.